Now, let's install one by turning a stock SSG-1 into a lightweight carbon build. Alright, so we've got a stock SSG-1 upper here, and right out the box, right off of your gun, it's going to be weighing in at 555 grams. Now, our carbon Gen 3, this is the 128mm version, that comes in at 109, so pretty much a fifth of the weight, and you can see why competitive players are going to prefer swapping out to a carbon. So let's put this to the side and get out our base gun. Now this is going to just be a lower, which I've already taken the liberty of assembling a bit, but right now we have in here our carbon gearbox, a max black trigger, and an F2. So if you want to use an F2, jack, or any other drop-in, you are going to need our carbon gearbox because the sight line of the carbon is so low that if you have the top rail that's present on an AEG gearbox, it's not going to fit in. So you can see that's a perfect fit there already. Now, I'm not going to get into what's inside this gearbox, but it is just the F2 and this wire harness, which is a little bit bunched up inside there, and of course cables running to your trigger board and the max tunable trigger right in there. So once you've got your gearbox settled, you want to take your G&G lower. You can take this one is straight off of an SSG-1. The carbons work best with the polymer lowers. Some of them will not fit on the metal simply because G&G made the metal lowers a different design. They're a different length for some reason. But just pop your gearbox into your lower, and the next thing we're going to do is seat it in place with the body pin and gearbox pin. So first of all, our gearbox pin goes in this little hole right here. Slide it in, and if you can't get it in with the thumb, then just, there we go. Now it's a nice flush fit, gearbox pin is in, and this gearbox is not moving. But of course, we're going to pop another body pin in. This is a prototype 3D printed one that we will be releasing in aluminum sometime soon. But for now, we're still working with the prototype, but the body pin really doesn't hold that much force or weight, so what we've got here is really all we need. So snaps right into place. Now, one thing I should mention, this build isn't going to have a safety latch because it's a speed build, nor is it going to have a selector plate. And the reason for that is during competition, we don't want to accidentally switch into safety and not be firing. Imagine you're turning a corner and you're clicking and nothing's happening and you get shot out. Or if you switch into full auto accidentally while you're on the run, that's going to be a penalty in most of the major leagues. So neither of those are nice outcomes. You don't want that to happen. So for our competitive builds, these are semi-locked either in software or, just by removing the selector plate and safety lever. Now, once we've got these in, now we're going to install the max mag release. So these are great fitment into the carbon. I think we're going for a little bit of a blackout build here, and that's going to be perfect with the new AirTac Customs blackout hop-up unit. As always, you're going to take your mag release, slide it into the left side. On the right side, take your little black sleeve, mag release spring. Right side of your mag release, push it in, hold it down, take your little screw, put that in on the right side, and then now we've got the lower and gearbox assembled. Now here's where you make a big decision. You're going to want to turn it into a tank grip build with an end cap, or are you going to want to put a stock on it? Now this was based on a stock SSG-1, so we're going to go for the stock option. And what that means is we're going to start with a G&G grip. Now here's an interesting thing with the amped IGL lines. These are nice and high quality, but they're a lot thicker than the stock macro lines. So you're gonna have to Dremel out the inside of the grip here to make it a little bit bigger so that you can fit the amped IGL through. Now, once we've got this situated, push both of them through. So with a stocked build like this, we're going to keep the FCU and battery inside the grip and just cap it with a little motor plate. So gearbox screws that are used for keeping the grip in. Now we just got to put the stock on. Alright, so we've got the stock on, nice and sturdy. Gonna put this cap on to the back of the SSG-1 stock. And now we're finally ready for carbon Gen 3 upper. So we're going to be putting a 128mm AirTac Customs AT Pro, which is a collaboration hop-up with Max Hop-Up. And that's gonna go right in there. And the reason I made these hop-ups is so you can get those clean blackout builds without a blue or red hop-up. So you just want to slide your hop-up right in there into the carbon all the way, and then since we've got our carbon gearbox, we just slide it right over the F2, and the upper gives us some nice fitment. And then sometimes you got to pull it back to push it in, but that was really smooth, and this build is looking pretty clean. All we got to do is finish it off with the Polarstar FCU plus an AirTac Customs Volt battery. So if you're looking to have a small battery for your ESG grips, or even a build like this with the stock, the Volt is our recommendation because it was a problem we had. So we solved it. And we're just going to cram that in there, and we have got a nice looking build. The trigger isn't tuned, you got to take it to the field, but we've got our SSG-1 lower, max mag release, max trigger, and G&G grip, SSG-1 stock, carbon Gen 3 upper with the back sight and the front sight, and the AirTac AT Pro blackout hop-up. Finish that off with an EPM 1S mag, and this baby is looking super clean. This blackout build turned out amazing with the Gen 3 carbon and AT Pro hop-up. If you want to build a Speedsoft gun like this, you can find all the parts you see here at airtaccustoms.com, and the parts list is in the description below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the field.